Hey everybody, April 2025 has come to an end. May is here. A lot happened over the course of April between our federal election, the tariff talk, everything else like that. I'm not going to speak to that. Let's talk about what happened in real estate in Windsor-Essex County. At the end of the month, there were 1,840 listings. Over the course of the month, there were 416 sales. That might not sound like it means much to you, but what should mean something is we had an average of 4.4 months of inventory. So that is approaching a balanced market. We have been in a seller's market for a very long time here in Windsor-Essex County, pretty much most of the last 10 years. And it seems that we're approaching that balanced market. And if you start subdividing the market and look at under the average sale price versus over the average sale price, it's very indicative of that we are very much in a balanced approaching buyer's market in the luxury or high-end market over our average sale price, which is about $580. Under our average sale price or our entry level, a lot of our first-time home buyers, investors, downsizers, that is still very much a seller's market, So when you have a seller's market on the entry level or under 600, and then you have a buyer's market over 600, that's what gives you kind of that average market, which is approaching the balanced territory. But anyways, 4.4 months is where we're at the end of April. Normally you would think if our inventory is rising and our number of sales is shrinking, that naturally the home prices should start coming down. So we saw an increase of listings of 9.5% over the course of April and a decline in number of sales by 15%. But the average sale price hung right pretty much where it was with last year. So it was about $580,000. We had $581,500 last year. Year to date, our average sale price in April was actually higher than the combined year-to-date rolling average. So again, normally it would make sense. If inventory is rising, demand is lowering, our number of sales is going down, that you would think the price of homes would shrink. But I don't think that it's a long-term effect that's at play here. I think there's a lot of people waiting to see what happened with the election, waiting to see what happens with the interest rates, waiting to see what happens with all the tariff talk. I don't think it's an actual decline in number of people that want to buy homes in Canada. I think that number is very steady, and that's why prices are just holding tight. They're not going up or down, and I think you're going to continue to see that throughout the course of the year. I've been saying it since the end of 2024, and I'll keep saying it. I just think this year is going to be a boring year in real estate, and I think that's a good thing. Buyers and sellers alike. If you're a buyer, it's going to give you a chance a lot of times to include a home inspection condition, a financing condition, sale of your home condition, things like that. If you're a seller, we know how to actually plan. We're not saying the price might be down here, maybe up here. Realistically, it's going to be here. And chances are, if you're a seller, you're probably going to be a buyer in a similar market. It might not be the same market, but this is kind of the trend of what's happening across Canada right now, not necessarily just in Windsor-Essex. So chances are, again, if you're a seller, you're probably going to be a buyer also. And it's just a lot more stable. There's a lot less up and down. It's steady. People have conditions for their own protection. And we're seeing a lot less deals come in with conditions, but then those conditions get fulfilled, and instead of the deals falling apart at closing date when they should just be getting your check and giving the keys over, we're actually seeing the deals close because they took care of those conditions ahead of time before the deal was actually firmed up. So it's a positive, I believe, for buyers and sellers. Yeah, maybe you're not seeing some of the crazy upside that we saw during COVID, 2020, 2021, but overall, it's a stable market, and I think we're going to see more of that. Now, we haven't really seen a true spring market so far, and I think a lot of that, again, is because of what's happening in the news cycles right now. So I think that we're going to start seeing that spring market that we normally see start second half of March, beginning of April. I think we're finally going to start seeing that in May and June. That remains to be seen, so we'll update you along the way. Thanks. Bye for now.